Hello, guys. This is that crazy mofo. Sorry. So, what I want to talk about today is the DoorDash platform. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions that DoorDash is a good way to make money, which it is in its own sense. But if you're planning on, working full time as a DoorDash driver, let me explain a couple of facts to you. Number one, DoorDash is not meant to be a full-time position. It's meant to be a side hustle. That's what it's for. That's the whole purpose of DoorDash, is for it to be a side hustle. If you're expecting to make $4,000 a week, that's not going to happen. Okay, you got 150 to 200 other drivers in your area, maybe even more, depending on the area that you live in. I live in California, so the area is a little bit different where I'm at. I'm in Ventura County. It's a little bit different. But there's a couple of do's and don'ts I wanted to discuss from my experience doing almost 1,000 deliveries with DoorDash. There's a couple of do's and don'ts that I wanted to discuss. Number one, do accept orders that are within your distance, and the common fact of law is you should always get at least $1.50 per mile. If you accept an order, let's say for Panda Express, and it's a 15-mile drive and they're paying you $7, I reject that order. I don't take it. DoorDash cannot deactivate a driver for a low acceptance rating. They cannot deactivate a driver for that. You can have a 0 acceptance rating. It doesn't make a difference. Your completion rate is what they worry about, and your rating, obviously, your general overall rating. Okay, so if you see an order that pops up, let's say for Panda Express, and it's that same 15.6 miles, and you got $18 for that order, $18.50, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, $18.50 for that order. What you should do is, it's your discretion really, but I would take that order because you're making $1.50 per mile, and you have a good chance of making more money once that order is completed. I personally like to send a text to the customer saying, "Hi, this is Dylan, your DoorDash driver. Your food is on its way. Thank you so much for choosing DoorDash. Have a great day," with a little smiley face. It helps, it really does. You have to, kind of have a personable thing with the customer, because you got to understand something. DoorDash is not a driver-based company. It is a customer-based company. So if you are a dick to the customer, and the customer calls DoorDash and says, "Hey, this guy was a dick," or whatever the case may be, DoorDash is going to side with the customer. They're not going to side with the driver. You're going to get fired. You don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself in a situation with a customer where you're going to lose your job. Okay? That is not something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're very polite, very courteous to the customer, even if the customer's not nice to you. Try to be polite, try to be courteous. Don't be an asshole to the customer because the customer is not nice to you. You're not going to run into nice customers every single delivery. There's going to be customers that are, having a bad day and they just want to take it out on somebody. Happens to me all the time. I've had, crazy customers. I've had really nice customers. Most I've, you got to understand, you're the way you treat a customer from the start of that delivery to the time you finish it means the difference between two things: how much they're going to decide to tip you, and your rating. Okay, if you go to a customer's house and you're having a bad day and you're sick and you're not feeling good, and you start talking down to the customer, you give the customer any type of attitude, they are not going to be nice and give you a good 5-star rating. They're not going to do that. If you don't bother to tell them when something's going wrong with the order, hence you're at the restaurant and it's taking longer than expected, and whatever the case may be, if you don't let them know, "Hey, this is the situation. Sorry to be for the inconvenience. This is the situation that we're experiencing right now. Unfortunately, there's a delay at the restaurant," or whatever. The customer wants to know that information because the customer is sitting at home waiting for that food. So if their expectancy is 20 to 30 minutes, and you don't let them know that there's going to be a delay, and then it magically goes from 20 to 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour or 2 hours, they're going to get upset with you because you did not communicate that to them, that there was a delay at the restaurant. Okay, even if it wasn't your fault, you need to communicate that to the customer. Here's a couple of don'ts. Okay, I'll go back to some do's in a second. Do not park in the customer's driveway. Period. Do not do it. Even if it's easy and do not park in the customer's driveway. That will give you a bad rating almost instantaneously. The customers do not like it when you park in their driveway. That is not a place for a driver to be parking unless you have no other choice or unless the customer has instructed you to do so. Do not park in their driveway. Another thing is probably common sense to most drivers. Do not walk across the customer's grass. Don't do that. And the customer sees you walking across their grass, don't expect a good rating. It's not going to happen. You are disrespecting the customer's house by walking across their grass. And under no circumstances, enter the customer's home. Do not go inside of the customer's home. That is a big no-no. That is a liability for you, a liability for DoorDash, and a liability for the customer. Do not go into their house, okay? Because if something happens, it's on you. And DoorDash is not going to cover you if something happens. Another thing, don't call the customer and say, hey, can you give me a 5-star tip? It really helps out. You know, it helps the drivers out. Customers do not like being asked for 5-star tips. Don't mention a 5-star tip. Don't mention a 5-star rating or a tip at all. Don't mention it. That is going to get you a bad rating. They do not want to hear, the customer's already been waiting for their food. They've paid whatever amount of money that they paid for the food. They do not want to hear, hey, can I have a tip? Hey, can I have a tip? They're already giving you money. The way they see it, they're already giving you money for the food. They don't want to give you a tip. They don't want to indulge that and give you a tip. That's not how they want to do things. They want to feel like they're free to do that. They want to give the tip on their own free will. They don't want to feel like they're being persuaded to give you a tip. Okay. Couple of do's that is very good. Make sure you always include napkins and silverware, because some of the restaurants do not include that. And you get the order and you take the order and you go to the customer's house and you don't bother to check for silverware. The customer is going to get that food and the customer is going to go, where's my silverware? That's a bad rating. If a customer puts any special notations on that account that says, hey, say you're doing a Taco Bell order, hey, give me 25 fire salsas or fire hot sauce. Make sure you put those in there, and maybe a couple extra. You know, if they say 25, I usually put 35 in there just to be safe. Okay. And then when you get to the customer's door, explain to them, hi, Mr. Johnson, I went ahead and added, extra 10 sauces, hot sauces to your order because I wanted to make sure you had extra just in case you needed it. That will definitely increase your chances of getting a 5-star rating and a good tip. I cannot stress this enough. Do not ask for tips. Do not ask for 5-star rating. I know it's kind of for some drivers, it's kind of, if you're new to DoorDash and you think that you're going to, be a billionaire in a week, that's not going to happen. Okay. DoorDash, like I said, is a customer-based business. We are independent contractors, and that's what a lot of drivers don't seem to understand. We are independent contractors, meaning that whatever we do to affect the customer's ability to give us a rating, that screws us. Okay. If you got drivers that are out there, driving drunk, I've actually run into a couple of DoorDash drivers who are heavily intoxicated at the time of doing their dash. Okay. There is no excuse to be intoxicated while you're driving. If you are intoxicated, do not drive. It is against the law, and that's that. Another thing, the way you pull up to a customer's house can also determine your rating too. If you screech up and you slam on your brakes and you pull up really fast, customers don't like that, especially when you're speeding or doing that kind of thing in their neighborhood. Okay, another thing, don't pull away from the house fast. You pull away from the house slow, get in your car. Thank you so much for choosing DoorDash. Have a wonderful day. Get in the car and leave. Leave normally. Don't leave like you're racing to go to, to a race. Leave very calmly, because the customers still could be watching you when you leave, and they want to see that you're leaving their neighborhood in a respectable manner, especially during the day when there's kids out playing around. You don't want to be speeding through a neighborhood doing 40 miles an hour. That's not going to be a good idea. Okay, you can kill yourself, you can kill the kid. Kids ride bikes and scooters through the neighborhoods all the time, especially in Simi Valley, Ventura County area. That happens a lot. There's a lot of residential neighborhoods where you can go through and actually potentially injure a child because you're not paying attention and you have whatever it is on your mind. Do not under any circumstances, break any laws to deliver food. That's the other thing. That's another pointer. Do not break any laws. Make sure you follow and abide by every traffic law. DoorDash is not going to pay for your tickets. DoorDash is not going to pay for you getting a speeding ticket trying to get to somebody's residence really fast, and you wanted to get there really fast, so you got a speeding ticket. DoorDash is not going to pay for that. So if you think that you're going to call DoorDash and they're going to say, oh yeah, sure, we'll compensate you, they're not going to give you money for that ticket. Okay. And if you are a smoker, another thing I suggest, if you're a smoker and you smoke cigarettes, that's fine. If you are doing a delivery for DoorDash, do not smoke in your vehicle. That will cause a bad rating too, because people can smell that cigarette smoke on their food, and they call DoorDash and they complain because their food smells like cigarettes. Okay, some of these people have an allergy to cigarettes. Some of these people don't like the smell, and you pull up and you just had 2 cigarettes or whatever inside your car, like on the way to the restaurant, and then whatever. If you do smoke, make sure your windows are cracked and at a place where the air can go inside of the car and air the vehicle out before you bring the order into the vehicle, because the idea is to try to make the customer as happy as possible. Even if you feel like the customer is treating you badly, sometimes you just have to suck it up. And I've learned that doing DoorDash. I've learned that doing delivery services, whether it be DoorDash, Amazon Flex, Postmates, Grubhub, whatever the case may be. You have to make sure the customer is happy, because the customer is the one that can either make or break you, okay? You are basically working for that customer to make whatever money that the customer gives you, okay? It's not as simple as, okay, well, I'm going to pull up to your house, I'm going to give you your order, and I'm going to leave. You have to make sure you build some sort of a personal relationship with that customer in the 20 minutes that you talk to them, okay? From the time you accept the order, from the time you accept the order to the time you go to the restaurant to the time you leave the restaurant and head to the customer's house, you need to make sure you leave a good impression on those 3 things, because a customer wants to know that their food is being taken care of. They want to know that you care about them. They want to feel that they're cared about, because DoorDash just basically tells them, okay, this is how much the order is going to cost, this is how long the driver is going to take, this is how much you can tip the driver. Customers do not have to tip you. So don't think that when you pull up to a house for a $5 order for Wendy's that you're going to get a tip if you treat a customer like shit and they have to tip you. No, they don't have to tip you. That's an option that the customer has. DoorDash is a very big on customer. Their customer basis is very big. They don't have a lot of time to deal with drivers that don't want to do their job correctly. There's over 600,000 DoorDash drivers across the world. 600,000. That's a lot of DoorDash drivers. You know, this company's making a lot of money. Okay. DoorDash is not going to sit there and, you sit there and you talk to a customer and you have that interaction with them. The whole idea is in the first 10 minutes of that encounter, you need to make that encounter the best you can for that customer, because that customer is gonna, when you leave that customer, they're gonna be faced with a decision. Okay, was the driver nice? Yes, he was. Did the driver deliver my food in a timely manner? Yes, he did. Did the driver bring my food hot? Yes, he did. Okay, was the driver respectful, kind, and courteous? Yes, he was. Those are the factors that they're going to look into. Was the driver on time? Did the driver communicate with me if there was any problems? Those are all things that they're going to look at when you pull up to their house and you go to deliver your order. Okay? People don't seem to grasp or understand the concept that DoorDash is a customer-based company. They do not understand that. They think that it's about the drivers, and no, they don't give 2 shits. DoorDash does not give 2 fucks about the drivers. They don't care about us. We are independent contractors, which means DoorDash is not our boss. We can choose whatever hours we want to work. We can stop working whenever we want. We can start working whenever we want. We don't have to answer to DoorDash. They want us to think that we do, but we do not, under any circumstances, have to answer to them. We have to answer to those customers. Those customers are what pays our bills, not DoorDash. Okay? DoorDash is a company that we work through to deliver food to those customers so that those customers are happy. I've done everything from DoorDash to Postmates to Instacart to whatever you could think of, and all of them are the same. They are customer-based businesses. If a customer is not happy, you are going to get screwed. You are going to get fired. That's what happens. You need to make sure you get your orders in correctly so that the customers are satisfied and very happy with you when you leave. Now it's the holiday season, so my message to a customer is usually, hey, this is Dylan, your DoorDash driver. How you doing? Happy holidays. I hope you and your family are having a great holiday season. I'm here at the Panda Express picking up your order. I should be at your residence pretty soon. Thank you so much for choosing DoorDash and have a great day. And I put a little happy face. That happy face is a big turning point. That happy face can really make or break you, believe it or not. Because these customers, they pay attention to stuff like that. They pay attention to see if you're doing what you're supposed to be and you're, getting the orders on time and you're, yada, yada, yada. They make sure they want to make sure that when they get their food, it's somewhere, on time, and if it's not on time, explaining to them why it's not going to be on time will always help you get a good rating. Now, there's a lot of cases and instances where you'll go to a customer and they won't be very nice, and that's happened. I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't happen. It happens, and it happens quite frequently because customers aren't always going to have a good day. Anyways, I've been going for about 20 minutes, but I just wanted to share with some of the new drivers the most important tip I can give any new driver is make sure the customer is happy. If the customer is not happy, you're not going to get a good rating. Make sure you do everything above and beyond the call of duty to please that customer. That will mean the difference between you getting a good rating or a bad rating.